Okay, we're going to talk about angles today. Okay, angles, you know what an angle is. That's an angle, right? Okay, there's ways to name an angle, several. Okay, you can use 1 point to name an angle as long as there's only one angle there. So you can call it angle A. Or you can use 3 points, CAB or BAC. Which one has to be in the middle? This one always has to be in the middle. Okay, so you say angle CAB. Okay, that's CAB, or you can say it backwards, BAC, as long as A is in the middle. Okay, or you could use that number right there. You could call that angle 1. Sometimes they put a 1 in there, a 2 or a 3, and you can call it angle 1. So that's a bunch of different ways to name that angle. All right. The only problem comes in is whenever you have more than one here. Like say if you said A, B, C, and D, then you can't name it angle A anymore because there's like 3 different angles at angle A, right? Angle A, you know, there's this angle, and then the big angle, BAD. I'm bad. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so there's 3 different angles. So whenever it's that way, you have to use 3 letters for each name, okay? All right, so let's go here. Okay, so it says 2 names for each angle on 1 and 2. So this one is, you could say it's angle Q, right? Okay, because there's not but just one angle there. And then you could use 3 letters, but you have to make sure the Q's in the middle, so you say PQR. Or I could have said RQP, right? Okay, this one, you could name it angle 1, or you could say angle XYZ. Okay, XYZ. And that could have been written backwards. You could have said angle ZYX, and that would have been fine too, ZYX. Okay, now this one, there's 3 different angles here. There's this top angle, which is EFG, so angle EFG, okay? And then the bottom angle, which is, I could say GFH or HFG, so I'm going to say HFG, okay? But I could have said either one, HFG, so from here to here to here. As long as the F's in the middle, I'm good. And then the big angle is both of them kind of combined, if you want to think of it that way. If that one's 20 and that's 30, then this angle is 50. Anyway, so EFH, angle EFH is the big angle. Okay, and on angles, there's an interior part of the angle and, of course, the exterior part. Really makes sense. Okay, next, moving on. Come on. There we go. That took a long time. Okay, we know segments. Remember we did segment addition, where we had like A, B, and C, and we said that AB plus BC is equal to AC, I'm sorry, you know, this part plus this part equals to the whole. So you still got the same thing here, okay? You've got part plus part equals whole, right? Part plus part is equal to whole whenever it comes to angles. Like look at this angle right here. That angle plus this angle is equal to the big angle that's right here, okay? So I could say angle, the measure, whenever you have an M in front, it's talking about the measure. So the measure of angle UWV plus the measure of angle VWX is equal to the big angle, which is the measure of angle UWX. Okay, can you see it? Hopefully you saw all that. UWX. Okay, so this plus this equals 114. 114 is the total. That's the big angle, UWX, right? Okay, so you're just setting it up like we did on segment addition, except for it's angles. So 2x plus 20 plus x plus 10 is equal to 114, the total. Okay, remember when you have a bunch of junk on one side, you got to clean it up and do like terms, like 2x and x is 3x, right? 20 and 10 is 30. That's equal to 114. Subtract 30 from both sides, and you get 3x is equal to 84, and you divide by 3, and you get 28, okay? And then it says, what is UWV? Well, I got to take this over here. UWV is the top one, so I put 28 there. 2 times 28 is 56, plus 20 is 70, 56 plus 20 is 76, right? Okay, so this one, VWX here, we take the 28 and plug it here, so 28 plus 10 is is going to be like 38, and this was 76, right? So this is 38. So if I add these together, I should get to 114 back, right? Because the big angle is 114. And it does add to 114. Okay, so an angle bisector is different. An angle bisector means that it goes ha and chops it in half. Okay, it chops this big angle in half. Ha! Just chops it in half. And these little marks mean that these two angles are congruent. You know, kind of like whenever we did midpoint, and I said it was a midpoint in this line and this line. Well, this is the way to do it for angles. This is congruent to this one, okay? So the ray, YW, bisects the big angle, angle XYZ, XYZ. Let me move this up some. Okay, and then so that this angle and this angle are congruent. So this angle, the top angle, is angle XYW, and it's congruent to WYZ, angle WYZ. And so bisects means to cut in half. Okay, just means to cut it in half. Cut in half is good enough. Okay, so this one says that DEF, DEF is 92 degrees. So all the way to here is 92 degrees. So it wants to know what the little angles are. Well, if they're congruent, you take the 92 and do what? Yeah, you divide it by 2. And you get 46 degrees for this angle and 46 degrees for this angle. Okay, so both of them are 46 degrees. All right, easy enough? Okay. Now here, whenever you have congruent angles, like I was kind of showing you up here, if they're congruent, like A is congruent to D, okay, then you would put one arc. Arcs tell you that the angles are congruent. So A is congruent to D, and then B, since it has 2 marks, is congruent to the one that has 2 marks over here, which is E, and then C has 3 marks, so we put a C there and an F here, and those are congruent, okay? So little arcs mean that those 2 angles are the same size. If this one's 100, then this one's got to be 100 degrees, right? Man, I can't write 100 very easily. All right, next. Okay, this one's part plus part equals whole, right? Angle addition, we're talking about that. So if they say the big angle is 91, like all the way to here is 91, and this one's 69, what's the little one? Yeah, you just take 91 minus 69, right? Okay, so you get 22. 22 for RST. Okay, for that angle right there. Okay. Now over here it says that USR, the big angle, is 100 degrees. These are the 2 parts, so part plus part equals whole. So that's how you make your equation. You say 10x plus 30, but I'll run out of room here, plus 5x minus 5, and we'll write small, okay, is equal to the big angle, which they tell us is 100, right? So I put 100 over here. And then I just calculate, combine like terms. 10x and 5x is 15x. 30 minus 5 is 25, is equal to 100. Subtract 25 from both sides. That's gone. You got 15x is equal to 75. Divide by 15, and you get x is equal to 5. Okay? So they said to find TSR, though. Once you find x, you got to see if that's what they wanted or if they wanted to find more. Okay, TSR is this little guy. Okay, that's this angle, which is here. So I take the 5 and plug it there, and 5 times 5 is 25 minus 5, which is 20. So the measure of TSR, remember the M in front means that it's the measure they want, okay? So if you just say angle TSR, they're talking about the name. And then if they say the measure of angle TSR, they're talking about the measure, which is 20 degrees in this case, okay? All right, here, this one is a straight angle. If that's a straight line, how many degrees is that? Do y'all know? I mean, a circle is 360, right? So if you cut a circle in half, then how many degrees is it from here to here? Yeah, it's 180, right? A straight line with 2 angles, the 2 angles add up to 180, right? So these 2 add up to 180, so that's my total, right? Remember, part plus part equals whole. This is the whole. Okay, so I'm going to do a 180 over here, but the parts are x plus 20 and x. So I go x plus 20 plus x. Because isn't it true that this one plus this one equals to 180 degrees? All the way around is 180 degrees, right? Okay, so now I combine the x's. 1 and 1 is 2x, right? Plus 20 is equal to 180. I subtract 20 from both sides. Okay, and I get 2x is equal to 160. Divide by 2, and x is equal to 80. Okay, so 80 is x. I plug 80 in there. 80 plus 20 is 100. Okay, so UWV, that's the top one, is 100. And then the other one has to be 80, right? Okay, if I plug that in there, it's 80. Okay, these add up to 180 like it's supposed to. Okay, so here's another addition problem, right? Okay, so this part plus this part equals something. What does it equal to? Do y'all know what this little box is? Yeah, it's 90 degrees. It's a right angle, right? So what it's going to equal to is 90. So this angle plus this angle equals 90. So you say x plus 15 equals, well, that's so far apart, okay? Anyway, so I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides, and that's gone. And then x is equal to 75, okay? Man, that just looks so, okay. Man, I messed that up pretty bad. I got all messed up. Okay, so it was pretty far apart because I needed to put both of them. I made a mistake. Oh no. Okay, so x plus 15 plus 5x plus 57, that is equal to 90. Okay, does that make sense? This plus this equals 90. Okay, combining like terms, that's 6x. 15 plus 57 is 72, right? And that's equal to 90. Subtract 72 from both sides. 6x is equal to 18. Divide by 6, and then x is 3, okay? So 3 gets plugged in to here. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 57 is 72 degrees for this guy, okay? And that one's, who's bad? Okay, 72 degrees, right? CAD is this one over here, and it's got to be 18 because these two add up to 90. But I can plug in the 3 to be sure. 3 plus 15 is 18, like I said, because these two add up to 90, right? Okay, last page. Is there anything on this one? Oh yeah, angle bisector. Angle bisector problems where it chops stuff in half, okay? So basically, the big angle gets cut in half, okay? So these two angles are going to be the same size, okay? If that's a bisector, it chops it in half, okay? So I think I already did these two problems. Let me check. Man, let me check here. I think I did those two problems already. Where's my bisector stuff? Bisector. Yeah, there it is. So that one's a 92. That's the same one as on the back. Let's do one more. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, number 7 says that QR bisects PSQ. So that means that this angle and this angle are both congruent. It's kind of hard to show it on there. Okay, so these two angles are the same size. So if there's the same size, do I say this plus this equals something? Or do I say this equals this? Now, there's no something to add it to, like there's no total, right? Do you see a total anywhere? Like, you know, like some of the other ones have totals, but this one doesn't. It just says that it bisects, so we know that this one and this one are congruent, so we set these equal to each other. Anything that's congruent, you can set equal to each other. So you say 4x minus 10 is equal to negative 3x plus 130, right? Okay, now we solve. Okay, smallest x, add 3x to both sides, right? Okay, so that's gone. We've got 7x minus 10 is equal to 130, and then I'm going to add 10 to both sides. 7x is equal to 140, divide by 7, and x is 20, right? Okay, so I plug it in. 4 times 20 is 80 minus 10 is 70. So PQR is 70. Well, this one better be 70. Let's check. 20 goes up here, okay? Negative 3 times 20 is negative 60 plus 130 is, guess what? 70. Okay, if it's a bisector, then these two angles are the same size, and they were, okay? Very good, very good. Have a great day.